Hello, everybody. And also, sorry, no. So, guys, hello and welcome to the weekly stream.
Hello.
Today with me and with Mr. Tucky. The problem is we're not just missing Mr. Conway.
I see someone already blames me.
Yes.
Yep.
The thing is, we are not only missing Mr. Conway somewhere, we're also missing the EU servers at the moment. So, problem is currently there's an outage in our data center, and that means that pretty much the servers are dead for a while, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so,
our tech guys are on it, but
it'll take a while. I wouldn't expect it to go up earlier than in 1 hour.
Petsinor, why Taki? Why? Well, because it's going to be Year of the Rat, so we try to replace hamsters with rats, and yeah, but unfortunately the servers are not available, but we still can go over some interesting things that await you as soon as the servers are back up.
Exactly. So, we are not the server guys, so this is why, we wanted to let you know we didn't just want to cancel the stream, obviously, because we know that a few of you were waiting, and this is also a good way to get the news out, that, yes, we are aware of the issues, we're working on it, but it will take a while to fix it. We're very sorry. We would just love to play as much as you do. When it comes to compensation, as usual, let us fix the issue first and then think about how we can compensate. And that also means Jesse Tyler, yes, exactly, yes. Because the PT is located on the same servers as the EU server, so it is currently down as well, and that means it won't be live in the meantime.
Yeah. And sadly, it's not only us; it's also tanks, and so
yes. So it's currently it's us, it's tanks. I'm not sure whether it's warplanes as well, but at least it's the two of us who are currently struggling. Me again, in terms of use your Twitter, we can talk about it internally. To use Twitter, the problem is that, for example, Twitter is for us more like a global platform. Currently, only EU servers are affected, but I'll pass it along and see what we can do.
Yeah, but we are posting the information on portal in the Wargaming Game Center on the forums, so. We hope that it's covering most of the
exactly
channels.
When you are currently on the NA server, then feel free to have fun in the game because that server is unaffected by this because it's an issue with our data center. So, Lunar New Year ships. Okay, Marco, that brings me to a topic. Yes. So a few of you already noticed that the directive for this week already has a mission that requires Lunar New Year ships. So for those who can connect the dots that are out there, like Lunar New Year and the date of Lunar New Year, there's going to be stuff happening in the next days. Today we already published the news about the Lunar New Year combat missions, and that already contained some info, and we'll just give you most of the rest of the infos today so that you know what to prepare for. Let me go through this beautiful button and Lunar New Year. So first of all, with Lunar New Year, you will basically see the Southern, the Eastern Dragon come back. We have 3 new ships that we're introducing, as you might know. And Mr. Tucky, you can see here in the beautiful background. Are you trying to log in?
Yes.
Oh, server might be... Oh. I see. They might be coming back to life.
But let's not raise false hopes.
We'll check. So yeah, we have the. I'm pretty sure I'm going to mispronounce it. So first of all, we have the Siliwangi, we have the Wukong, and we have the Baze. I think it's.
I think that's how someone told us it should be pronounced.
Yes.
Our
if
colleagues
that's not
from
the case,
yeah.
I'm sorry. So yeah. So you can see them already in the background, and they look pretty amazing. And we announced today in the combat mission briefing that Lunar New Year missions will be up. If you take a look at this infographic that is actually grabbed from our portal publication, you will see there's basically a 6-part mission out there for each of the missions that you're doing, and they are available in operations, random battles, and core battles. You basically get one of the Lunar New Year containers. And then on top of that, once you've finished all of the missions, you will get 2 additional ones. Let me actually bring up the publication because there are some cool missions out there besides that. So first of all, there's going to be a 200% XP bonus for the first one of the day. So go and grab your ships and earn some free XP and ships you always wanted to get. There's a 50% discount for port slots. 50% reduction of the cost of upgrades and credits. So in combination with the changes we're making to upgrades, maybe a good chance to already buy a few. And minus 80% to the cost of demounting upgrades in doubloons. So that's some nice things that are starting tomorrow. And what else? There's a cool mission. Basically, all you have to do is win a battle and you will get the Year of the White Metal Red commemorative flag, as well as 3 Wargaming containers, which include guaranteed Wargaming time. Now, I know that you also want to know, like, hey, so are there any other means how I can get these ships? It's very straightforward. You will be able to get them through boxes, but also through the premium shop. So it's your choice whether you want to take the boxes or whether you want to go for the premium shop and just buy the ship straight away. You can see the information here about the box. And oh wow, I see you are actually logged in.
Yes.
So we'll see whether the EU server is coming back online. I hope it's coming back. And sorry for the server issues that we're currently experiencing. So yeah, as you can see, there will be 2 different types of the boxes. Basically, the regular one and the premium one with you know, a better content because you're going to pay for it. And in these boxes, you will be able to get one of these 7 ships. The Eastern and Southern Dragon will be available through different means, so you can just buy them in the premium shop. They're not part of this particular container. And that's the info for Lunar New Year. So I hope you guys, you know, are going to have fun. All of this will be kicking off, should be kicking off tomorrow, so that all of you can have your stuff for Lunar New Year, which is on the 25th of January. How can I get those missions? You don't have to do anything. They will just go live tomorrow. There's no opt-in required, as far as I know. All you have to do is basically play the game. And you can find all of this information. You know what? I will copy the link for you guys.
Yeah, that could be useful. But it's on the portal.
It's on the portal, exactly. If you just head to your regional portal, you will find those information just like very easily, because it should be the top publication. But let me give you the link. Give me a second.
Oh, your website is in Czech.
Yes, because I'm not logged in right now. And oh god, I'll take this link. So news. Obviously, I want you guys to get the English link. And oh, Sir, thank you very much for the raid. Should rename yourself to Sir Raid. Thank you very much. So guys, I'll just share the link with you, especially for you YouTube and Twitch guys out there, so you can see all of the information. And there will be a dedicated publication for Lunar New Year, which should be coming out tomorrow, where you can find all of the information that is relevant for this specific event. What is happening with the EU server? The EU server is currently experiencing, unfortunately, some issues with its data center. So we're working on fixing that as soon as possible. Will be available in-game for some other in-game currencies like other tier 9 ships? Not at the moment. Please tell me you have good news about Graf Zeppelin. Sorry, not today, but if we get good news, you will be the first to know on the streams. And the Major Pain TV says, EU seems fixed and playing since 10 minutes. Yeah, it might take some time for people to be able to log back in, but if the servers are online, that's already a good sign. And
yeah, but we are still waiting for confirmation, because it might be that they are online as part of the fixing, but it still might not be definitive. So we are waiting for confirmation.
Yeah. Malaki is asking, can we buy crates with doubloons? You will see tomorrow. But you should be able to have plenty of options to get them. What about submarines? Will they come this year? Legionnaire, it really depends on the progress in terms of testing and balancing. It's too early to say we would like to. that's the truth. We would like to see them this year, but there's still plenty of stuff to do. So give us a bit of time to give you information as soon as we have them.
Does the Huanghe have a special camo or is it default perma camo? Well, the Huanghe still will have her standard regular historical perma camo. So this will be basically a thing on the top.
How long will the event last? Well, at least when it comes to the missions, they're going to be available for like ranging from the 3 days to 2 weeks, depending on what mission you're talking about. If you follow the link that I just posted, you will find all of the information.
Yeah, the main mission chain with the containers and stuff will be running from tomorrow, 6 Central European time, so tomorrow morning, until 10th of February. So there will be plenty of time to finish them. The missions are really like not hard.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
If you want to accelerate some of the missions, you can obviously do them in co-op. Even though me personally, I always like to do them in PvP. What about the ARP ships? Well, Eric, if there's any news about ARP ships, we will be very happy to tell you about it when we can, if there's anything to announce.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's nothing I can tell you about a potential ARPEGIO collaboration. And that also includes, I currently cannot tell you more about how to obtain the new permanent camouflage for ARP Takao. You will have to stay tuned a bit longer for that. Yeah, guys, EU server is currently slowly but steadily recovering, so give it a few minutes. Feel free to ask questions. I'll try to answer. 60k XP mission. Well, it seems like it's not base XP because it's not specified as base XP, so it should be just combined XP. So use your camouflages, use your signal flags, and get the most XP out there. Do you get the same XP in co-op as you do in random? Well, I mean, the system works the same way, so the XP that is displayed and the multipliers work the same way. But random battles have basically a better income in terms of credits and in XP. So while some things are easier to do in co-op, for example, because the co-op, like the battles are faster, you might get, for example, kills faster or more reliably.
Or especially the fires.
Or the fires. PvP battle will give you better rewards in terms of XP and credits in general. So my personal piece of advice is, if you have enough time and you don't mind doing this on the side with playing PvP, then just do PvP and you will get there pretty quickly as well. Just like with the current directives, they're very easy to do. What will happen with mounted modules in update 0.9.1? As they're getting changed, will they be switched to new versions or unequipped? Usually they should be switched, and whatever's in your armory should be sold for 100% of the price.
What is the difference between Izumo and Base? There's basically not really no difference apart from the nation, and the Izumo doesn't have the nice skin, so.
Yeah, only slight variation. Twench is asking, is there an option to get the French legendary commander in the future? Yes. I think we already talked about this in one of the previous streams. So the French legendary commander, Mr. Abueno, should be coming to the armory at some point as well. We don't it's not like we want this to stay exclusive. They will at some point rotate into the armory, just like Kuznetsov did.
Any chance that we will have a new map soon? Actually, yes. That's the second part of things we have, right?
Yes, we can.
New map is appearing as soon as the public test will be available. The new map will be there. What's the name?
You mean North Waters?
Yes, North Waters. I knew that it's something with North, but wasn't sure if it's North or Arctic. So
yeah, we'll get there in a second. Scrappy says, "Hey, I've just been able to log into EU server, but premium shop and time and clan name and so on are not available." Yes, it's because certain functions of the server are still booting up, basically. So give it a bit of time. That's the thing. Like, our servers were completely out, so all of the services basically have to boot up, and it will take a while. So it is alive, and people slowly are able to log in again, but just give it a bit of time. could you discuss a possible ARP camo skin for the Yamato? I mean, Starry potentially. Oh wait, who was asking that question? Mobius. Depends on the collaboration we have with
Yes.
you. We obviously try to get cool collaborations, also cool content that is in particular available for you guys with the ships we have in game. But it's basically a matter of discussion with the holder of the license. Why are clans not shown at the moment? Pyro me, because currently the EU servers were just out for like half an hour a few minutes ago. So now all of the servers are booting back up. So it will take a bit, but they will be back.
Stripe 79, possible to see some camos from the 5 Chinese deities. These are the Japanese names, especially Byaku. Well, not right now because we don't have such camouflages, but maybe in the future. Like, never say never.
Oh, and hello Chaos Machine. I didn't even see you there.
Oh, yeah.
You have before German speedboats to join in the game. So we had German speedboats. That's true. We basically had them in the operation for Dunkirk, but we are not planning to have speedboats in the game. At least right now, that's not part of our plan. So sorry to ruin that parade. Custom Graphics is asking, hey, World of Warships, I was wondering what the rate of Twitch drops were while watching streams. I've watched a few days worth now and only got 1 crate. So, the way the system works is pretty straightforward. So all you have to do is link your account. You apparently already did that. And then you have a chance of getting a container. And you also have a chance of getting the mission. Actually, the chance to get a mission is 100%. We built it in the way that everybody who watches a certain amount of time is going to be able to get that. And if you usually watch a World of Warships official stream that usually lasts around 2 hours, you should be getting that.
And we have some good news here. Some fresh good news.
Okay.
It seems that the issue has been solved, so it should be safe to...
Can you check about the reported clan issues and the money issues?
Yes, I will check, but actually I had them on my login here, and they are resolved now, so
okay, guys,
it seems well.
Can you confirm, please, guys, in chat that the issues for you are solved in terms of clan names being unavailable and so on? Just to confirm, guys. I'm at Max, the legendary French commander. Will he return in the arsenal? Yes, I just said that. Nerf games. You just look great today, Chrysanthus. Did you do something new with your beard? Wow. Thank you. No, but it's still the same beard, and just pay attention to it. Oh, my client is still in German. I'll probably have to unlock again.
Yeah, most likely.
Com Harwood, why don't you answer your question about nerfs on Henri and Kleber? Sorry, I didn't see your question. There are a lot of questions out there. I'm trying to answer all of them. So I guess the answer is the question was, why did we nerf Henri the Fourth and Kleber? The answer is pretty straightforward. They were overperforming, and especially for example Kleber and Mogador. The problem was that they were basically too good by the combination of traits they had in terms of really good guns. They're also able to buff their rate of fire with the reload booster. They're very fast and they have good torpedoes. And because detectability made them too strong, because it didn't give other DDs time to adjust and to interact with them, we nerfed the concealment to a certain degree, and we also nerfed the concealment for the torpedoes because that was simply a bit too strong. That's our adjustment for now. When it comes to Henri, the problem is that the Henri is already a ship that is playing a lot on, let's say, maximum range. When it comes to kiting, it is a ship that was able to accelerate, decelerate very, very quickly. On top of that, it still has an engine boost, and that made it very hard to hit. And we wanted to basically reduce this aspect to a certain degree. I know it was a pretty substantial nerf, and we'll keep monitoring it. And if we need to make adjustments or get it back up again, we'll do that. Master Hero is asking, why are you making the new legendary commanders coal-based and not campaign-based like Halsey and Yamamoto? Because campaigns are a feature that because it's I know it sounds weird, but not a lot of people are actually interacting with that feature, and picking missions over and over again, it's a very lengthy process. while coal, for example, you can just earn over time, steadily, without doing, additional like opt-ins with like, oh, I want to do this mission, I have to play specifically this ship. So that's why we wanted to give players the option to be able to get these commanders. It's a long-term process, but the choice is up to you, and you can pick the commander that you like. While we had, for example, legendary commanders that were part of not the campaigns that you were talking about, but for example, directives. So we got some feedback that some players would love to be able to play on their own time, in their own pace. And that is definitely able with, like, you're definitely able to do this with coal, right? You basically can grind coal in the amount of time that you want to grind it, and then you're able to spend it on what you would like to get next. Custom graphics, I just answered your question. You need to pay attention.
What are the advantages of resetting a whole line of research points for research point where you need a tier 10 ship for clan battles? Well, I mean, you can always, if you have, you need to have at least 5 lines researched, so you can always just reset the line that you don't use for competitive, and just regrind that, or just reset it after the clan battle season is over. Any rumors about next Super Test recruitment, Camel 942? No rumors right now, but I mean, you can shoot me a private message on the forum.
Come Howard, I understand. I don't think it's dead. It's absolutely not dead, but it definitely makes it harder to play. I agree. And it will probably take you some time to get adjusted to this with your playstyle. Are you planning to introduce historical co-op scenarios around new premium ships, connecting their introduction in the game to some pivotal battles or escapes, other events that played a major role? Tiger, the honest answer is, I wouldn't expect it. Operations are a cool feature, but the vast majority of guys out there, you like to play PvP, most of all. And that's why most of our features are actually revolving around PvP. It's a bit of, based on your demand. And while there might be new operations at some point in the future, also specifically tying it into, for example, a specific premium ship, might make it very hard to, for people to participate in this. If we would make that, for example, a requirement to have that ship or theme it around that ship. So it's a bit tricky. So I'm just trying to, get your level of expectations on the right level that I wouldn't expect it. Might be happening in the future at some point, but I'm not aware of anything like this in the foreseeable future. Sneaky Cat, when you have a lot of FPS drops, can you please send us a Wargaming check with the DX DIAC to our customer support, and then we can look into it. If your system is supposedly good enough to run other games on the same level with over 100 FPS, we're happy to look into this. Might be something driver related and so on, so please make sure that you double check your driver and so on. You also check and repair the client, and then please send us a Wargaming check with DX DIAC, and then we can have a look.
And do you have ETA for the Yashima? Someone wants the 510mm guns, it seems.
No ETA. This ship is in very early testing. I mean, we just announced that we're working on the ship, so that means it's in early stage. It's basically in super test. Then it has to move to proper balancing testing, and then after we go through all of the balancing iterations, we'll have to find a good date when we could put it into the game, and that takes a while. It's a very lengthy process. Still can't log in. Yeah, guys, we are aware that the EU servers have issues, but they should be coming up. And I'm actually going to try to log in myself now. Does Wargaming have plans to introduce more ways to earn research bureau credits? I guess research points, with the legendary modules going to the research bureau, considering people have fears that this will further divide between the average player base and the more competitive player base. Shasha, we are definitely looking into how we can improve the research bureau. Right now, there's no news that I can share with you, but we are aware of the feedback that you gave us in terms of accessibility for that feature and research points in general. And I hope we have something in the foreseeable future that will address this.
Stay Girio probably. Can we have Rapid and Resolute and shipbuilding containers back in Armory? Well, I mean, those are containers from fairly recent events, so they will probably stay out of the Armory for some time, but in general, we had quite a lot of older containers returning back into the Armory, so give it some time. Yeah. They might appear.
Mark Cockerell is saying in caps lock. Actually, you know what, Mark? If you want me to read your question, please refrain from doing caps lock for the entire sentence. I'll do this as an educational bit here. Cheetah says, just want to say you guys are all doing a stellar job, not a wargamer, and never expected to become so involved with the Warships game, but now it's one of my most played. I'm very happy that you feel this way, and welcome to our community. I hope you're enjoying your time here. Will carriers be reviewed to balance the aircraft survivability, especially tier 6 and tier 8, since they get +2 matchmaking? So, Darko, I think the vast majority of rebalancing decisions around CVs have been made. There might still be some adjustments. Bless you. There might still be some adjustments to them. But overall, I wouldn't expect any major changes in the foreseeable future. Is it possible for ARP ships to return to the game or for purchases in the store? And Vandret PL, the answer is mayhaps.
Yes.
Is Operation Cherry Blossom ever coming back? So, Armchair Historian Gamer, yes, it's supposed to come back, but it will take a while. So, don't expect it anytime soon. What else do we have?
Could you possibly do a quick showcase for the 3 new Lunar New Year ships? Eric, yes, we want to, but well, right now the situation is still slightly getting back to normal, so we have to wait a bit until we can unleash them on our accounts and show them to you. But yes, it's in the plan.
That was the plan. Until our servers decided to not be part of that plan anymore.
Yes.
Hey guys, why don't you put a bit more armor on French BBs? They're a bit too weak compared to other nations. So, Mr. Truck, actually French BBs are doing very well. They have certain pros and certain cons. I think the armor. Wow, that just.
What was that?
Sorry guys, you didn't see this, so I'm currently I'm already logged in. I'm just going to show this to you here in a second. So I was just logged in and I was having this open, and suddenly there were 2 smokestacks passing by, and that caught our attention. Sorry. So yeah, I don't think we're going to buff the armor of French battleships. Yes, they are how to say it, susceptible to HE damage, for example, like also to lower caliber ones. But on the other hand, they make up for it with other traits. So it is always a pro and con when it comes to ships and their balancing, and that is a design decision. Will there be ship building again like for Puerto Rico? Can be lower tier, of course. Venom, we're currently looking into what we can do with the dockyard in the future. Obviously, we got a shit ton of feedback for what happened with Puerto Rico, and now we're currently reviewing it. We're still analyzing it, and once we have news how we want to use that feature in the future, we'll let you know. But that will take a while. Big block of feedback.
Why can we no longer collect collection items with daily containers for the last 2 events? Okay, it scrolled out. Yeah, the last 2 collections actually were not tied to the daily containers. They were tied to the special event containers.
So usually the way it works is there are 2 types of collections. One type of collection is the collectible items are specifically tied to a container. So, for example, this is what we did with the Christmas or New Year's directives. We were able to earn the shipbuilding containers, and in the shipbuilding containers there was always 1 item. But the vast majority of collections are actually collections where you collect them from random containers with a chance to get one with each container. And you can basically decide by yourself which collection should be the active one.
Yes, that applies, for example, to the Yamamoto collection, to the High School Fleet collection, and the Halsey as well, I think. Basically, it's So it's just a question whether you have them activated. But the last 2 events were not in this system. They were relying on their special containers. So if you miss them, you might have to wait until the special containers appear again, if they appear.
Car42 Kids is asking on YouTube, Mines, Odin, Secret, Hayate, when are they coming out? In the future?
Yes, that's all we can say right now.
Like I know this, we say this every week, but every week these kind of questions come up, and the truth is that once we're ready to talk about release dates, we will talk about them. Right now, that's not the case for any of these ships. As soon as we have it, I'll be the first to tell you, or I'll try to be the first to tell you. Usually. Hello, can we buy a Wukong, Bazet, and a Silly Bank? Yes, Jade, you will be able to buy them tomorrow.
Or to get them for free.
Or yeah, if you get lucky through the containers, you can also get them for free. Yes. CV in Clan Wars, maybe at some point in the future, but not in the current season. Why is World of Warships not able to bring back the scenarios Dunkirk and Cherry Blossom? Please focus on the really needed things, not on stupid events like Puerto Rico. So the thing is, look, we're a company, right? And you are a player base, and you basically, by what you do in the game, you decide what we focus on. The thing is that actually the vast majority of players are interacting with events like the Puerto Rico event or with random battles, and not playing specific operations. But that's not the reason why we're not bringing back Dunkirk and Cherry Blossom. So, for example, Cherry Blossom is still out of the rotation because we still have to rework the AI for the CVs, and that is still currently being done. And since there are a lot of other things happening that need our attention, this is currently on, let's say, a lower level of our list of priorities. That's the case for that. Will we see maps with coastal batteries for capture again? Matchev, I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. We struggled a lot with the Bastion mode. Back in the day, we tried to rebalance it, and then we had to take it out of the game because we couldn't really make it work in a way that it's really fun for everybody, because the coastal batteries were very strong, they were very accurate, and it kind of discouraged people from going into the cap zones, and also kind of punished you if you're not on the, let's say, pushing side of getting one of these caps. As soon as you lost the cap to the enemy team, it was basically twice as hard to get it back. So tricky scenario. Maybe at some point we will be able to get this in, because it would be a really cool feature. We had a few videos actually on coastal batteries as well.
Yes, that was a video series that was running, I think, 2 years ago.
Would be like a cool, nice thing have, like a cherry on top of our the core of our game, but not the highest priority. Are you going to buff the SAO HP, because compared to other cruisers it is the lowest HP? No, at least it's currently not planned, because the way the SAO works, it has a bit of a trollish armor. You have to take that into account, and on the other end, it has very strong guns and very strong torpedoes, and a ship always comes as a package. That's why certain ships have a very, very strong HP pool, other ships have a very low HP pool, and depending on what other features these ships have, we basically try to level it out with pros and cons.
And there's also this kind of like philosophical problem that if we buff Zao HP so that she doesn't have the lowest HP pool, then some other cruiser will have the lowest HP pool, and we would have to buff that one probably. And madness lies that way. I mean, yeah.
Celeste is long post. He's saying, I wonder why most DCs hardly type in-game but complain the stream that the teams are bad, or some specific ship is not playing accordingly. Should they not get punished for not contributing to the gameplay because they just flame or trash talk about players but don't try to help them out? If I see your concern. So, look, the thing is that first and foremost, I'm with you when it comes to people should always try to help each other instead of trash talking each other, because at least in my experience, like, I have been gaming for a very long time, and in my experience is if you try to, like, if you insult somebody else, or if you tell him that he's really bad at something, that will not make him want to get better, right? They won't really pay attention to this. They will just be pissed off. That's usually the case. While when you try to help them, at least a certain part of the players who you're interacting with might be willing to listen to that piece of advice. Maybe not exactly in that moment, but maybe in the future. So when it comes to RCCs, they're pretty much, I wouldn't say free to do whatever they want to do. They obviously have to stick to the game rules that we set up. That also means they should not insult players. If they misbehave in chat, they will just be treated like any other player who's misbehaving in chat, and they will get chat banned. Now, if a CC goes out of their way to, for example, do naming and shaming, this is something we definitely do not want to see, and which we discourage and even sanction in the CC program. Now, should we punish them for not contributing to the gameplay? I think that's the wrong way to put it. They might have tried in the beginning, right, and they realized most of the guys don't really want to listen to me, so I'm not even going to go through the effort of trying to talk to my team to make things better. It's a tricky thing, right? We all have battles where we feel like our teammates could do a better job. Overall, I always try to tell people that communicate more. Like I had this so many times that people were, after they died, they started communicating with the team why ship XYZ didn't do this thing. At least in the beginning of the battle, talk to each other, try to come up with a plan. It doesn't have to be like the big master plan, but maybe agree on 2 caps where you want to go. Decide on what you want to focus on in the game and communicate with each other. It's not going to work all the time, but at least for me, it really helps with certain battles. So I hope this answered your question. So if CCs basically misbehave, that it's against the game rules, we'll definitely strike them. Outside of that, I think we're all grown-ups, and some CCs might be a bit more vocal about other players than maybe another CC, which is fine in my opinion. We're grown-up people. As long as people don't insult each other, I think it's okay to also sometimes be straight up and say like, hey, this was not the best gameplay you did out there. As long as it's not overdone. Where is Mr. Conway? Mr. Conway unfortunately wasn't feeling very well today, so he went home, and Taki here is the hero of the day, jumping in for him.
What?
Chat server is now unavailable, just to make you aware.
Yes,
it's available.
That's possible.
It's possible. Like I said, it's probably going to take in total like a bit more time for all of the functions to work. Do you guys work on planning to rework the game, the replay mechanics? They're very complicated to understand at the moment. Yeah, Gunslinger, the thing is that the replay mechanics that we have currently in the game, they are more of like this is not to have a cool feature for people to watch their replays and create videos out of it. It's actually a basic functionality for us to be able to rewatch if, for example, we get reports about like some bugs in game and so on. So this is why this is not a feature that is super polished. Are we going to rework it at some point? Maybe in the future, but I wouldn't expect it in 2020. Can you please add HMS Sundsvall, a Wispy class Swedish DD? Maybe at some point in the future. Resolute and Rapid Collection has stopped. Is this no longer achievable? The Resolute and Rapid Collection, actually, is that one for... I'm not sure. Is it one for opt-in? I think it was actually tied to containers. Yes. So I'm sure that these containers will come back at some point. Will Bogue be ever coming back as a premium ship? I mean, we would like to get the odd-tiered CVs back in the game in some form or way. How that will be the case, I don't know yet. But at least we're planning to get them back. Konstantinos Dimitroglou is asking, hello everyone, servers down because now I'm online and I'm trying to play and it's not going in. Yes, sorry, the EU servers are still suffering from health issues at the moment. I hope it's going to be fixed soon here.
Yeah, and for the questions about the clan wars, the tech guys are on it, they are checking. Because I mean, the priority is to bring the servers as such up, and then the other services are gradually coming alive.
I see a please show off your extra large torpedoes. We can do that in a second. This chat is mature, right? There was another question I wanted to answer. No, I missed that question. Oh no, actually it was on YouTube. Tall white male is saying, and don't forget to compliment good players, build confidence and character. So this is something, you're absolutely right. Yes. And this is something I also want to highlight is, I know that our karma system isn't perfect. But if you see somebody who did a good job, not even in terms of, for example, the basics, the score at the end of the battle, but somebody when you asked for help, who helped you, maybe with spotting, a CV who went out of his way to actually, help you with spotting, dropping a fighter next to you, or a battleship that is focusing the target that you were highlighting, or somebody who was just trying to help you. Like, never be afraid of basically doing positive reinforcement by saying, thank you very much for the help, or giving a +1. Like, in my opinion, whenever I interact with people and I give them +1, they're always happy and they say thank you, and I have the impression that this does more in terms of making sure they will do this again, maybe in another battle when I'm not in there, and then stating them, oh, you did this and this and this mistake, you should stop playing, which is, in my opinion, not the best approach.
Personally, I am more likely to compliment than to report, but...
Let me double check for the Torpedo.
Yes, yes. Also double check for the hamsters.
I come back.
Oh, that's a nice collection you have there.
So this is number 1, right? This is the mini plushie. And it is a plushie. Whatever you see in this that is not a torpedo, it's in your head. And that one we actually sent to our contributors as a New Year's Christmas gift.
Yeah, I think most of them already got it.
Yes. Then we have...
Upside down.
This beautiful, huge torpedo. And none of them are currently available for a purchase. I'm sorry about this. We're still working on this, right? But they are really amazing. And then we have the longest of all of them. Torpnelius. You can see how long it is. It doesn't even fit into the screen, right?
Okay. And
an extra large one is actually from Streffs, one of our CCs who actually built this by himself and gave it to us as a gift.
Yeah, he seems to have built a lot of torpedoes.
I saw images that were very disturbing, I have to
Yes, a lot of torpedoes. It looked like he's building a Shimakaze of his own.
Yes, I mean, there's so many questions, guys. I'm trying to answer as many as I can, right?
Please stop the paper ships. There are so many. There are so very many real ones. Yes, that's true. But on the other hand, there's not that many real classes, and often the ships would be very similar to each other. While the prototypes, paper ships projects, various, allow us to flesh out the tech trees, because otherwise we would often have to have like tier 1 to 3. Then a huge gap, and then tier 8, 9, 10, and that would look weird.
Will you be playing soon? I think soon, TM, we can start playing. Actually, how many people are online right now?
Well, some 16k.
Oh, okay. So server seems to be on a good way. I'm just trying to answer a few questions in the meantime. I know some of you want to, some of you guys want us to play, and we'll get to this point hopefully very soon, TM. But I just wanted to take the time, since the servers are currently a bit, legs up, to talk to you guys. Will there be skins for CVs? I mean, there are already skins for CVs out there. For example, Shokaku has an amazing one where you basically have bats as planes. I'm sure there are going to be more in the future, but I don't know when you can expect new ones. What happened to servers? There was an issue with our data center, and that means that the servers basically said goodbye, and now all of the basically servers are rebooting, and it takes a bit.
When does the line resetting season reset? Actually, I don't know the date off the top of my head, but the reset was quite recently.
Easy. It's because all you have to do is you go into the tech tree. If you go to the tech tree, and you scroll down to the bottom. If you scroll down to... okay, you show mine. So, yes. For example, here. The next multiplier of victory bonuses will be available in 25 days.
Yep.
You can see it because... Taki, can you please move out of the... See? Here. Here. Hiding behind Mr. Taki's head. You can find that information here. All you have to do is go into the tech tree. Can we please have a pink bunny camo with big floppy ears and a fuzzy tail for Easter?
I'm not sure, but we already have a bunny flag.
Oh, can you show it?
Yes, I have to find it, but I...
You have so many flags.
Yes, here. The rabbit.
Yeah, I mean, cool idea. I don't think it's in our plan for this year Easter, but maybe I can try to convince people for 2021. But there might be some backlash from people who want to see mostly historical stuff, right?
Yamashiro, with regards to the clan battles, as we said, the guys are still working on it and they are checking stuff, so give it some time still.
Renegade is asking, are the icebergs dead or will they be further developed?
What is that?
I mean, they might be melting away, right? No, I think this is still to be introduced at some point. You know, the destructible icebergs, but I don't know when. Is it possible to exchange for new skins for one? No, I don't think that's possible. Now I get your question.
What?
He's asking whether it's possible to exchange all of the New Year skins he has for one tier 8 CV.
No, sorry, sadly not.
It doesn't work that way. A little bit off topic, but how do you get to work at Wargaming? Always wanted to work at the company. How do you guys get to work there? Sorry for the weird question. Absolutely not a weird question. Very happy to answer this for you. So first of all, we are looking for a lot of people to work for us. I'm sure Taki, do you want to actually show it?
I think the browser window is set for you. No, you can just move it
up. Well, it's
true.
To show the browser, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So if you just make it full screen. So if you go to
wargaming.com.
Exactly. And then you click on careers, you will see basically an overview of how many open job opportunities we have, and you can actually check by office.
Yes, so if we, for example, check for Prague, because, well, that's... Oops.
Because the best office out there, because we are working there.
That's where we are, and it's so awesome that I keep dropping the headphones here.
Yes, because
if we look at Prague, we are looking currently at the visual effect leads for the World of Tanks team. Actually, a lot of environment art people for World of Tanks and illustrators. So if you have any experience or any like art leanings, check it out. It's interesting work.
Yeah, when it comes to background story, like how did we get to work at Wargaming? I think both of us have an interesting background to how we actually got to work here, because I'm I honestly, I always wanted to work in the gaming industry, never planned on doing so, didn't know how to. I'm not a programmer. I actually studied to become a teacher, and I finished the studies, but on the side I was creating videos or streaming actually World of Warships, and I got in touch with the Wargaming guys. And it was super nice, and they told me that there are a lot of open positions, and why not apply if I'm interested in doing something. And once I was done with my studies, I actually did exactly that, and I started working in the community department back in Paris when we were still in the Paris office, in the German community team, and then I worked my way up, and now I'm the senior community manager for Warships in Europe. And then Mr. Taki also has a very interesting background that did not start with gaming.
Well, I mean. It kind of did, but well, I got to World of Tanks basically when they were back in closed beta. I started being active on the forums and
Go Forumites.
Yes, exactly. Go Forumites. Someone from the Minsk team who was taking care of the EU community back then noticed me, and they asked me if I want to become moderator, so I became moderator. And then when the Paris office started, we all got the email whether we want to try to apply for it. So, like, what the heck? So I applied.
But what is your background? Like, what do you, because you are not a game designer or anything. You are
electrical engineer.
See, he's a fucking engineer, and he went into gaming. So
yeah,
if you honestly, my piece of advice is, if you're interested in working in the gaming industry. And the one thing you have to keep in mind is it is a very dynamic industry, and you will probably have to relocate because there are not that many gaming studios out there. So if you're willing to relocate, and if you're very happy to work in like a really interesting but also sometimes a quickly changing environment, then go for the gaming industry. It's a really cool like industry to be in, super multicultural, great chances to work your way up and to do interesting things, and go give it a try. Just be aware of the fact that you will probably have to relocate and things like that.
Frankly, what you mentioned with the super multicultural environment, that's something that I really did not expect I will ever have in my line of work, but while I was doing the engineering, and which was a huge amount of fun. In the Paris office and now here, because we have really people from all walks of life, people from a lot of countries, because right now we have how many nationalities? Like, just in Warships team for Europe, it's...
In Warships team, I think we already have 8 or something. And
more even maybe. So it's really fun, because you see all the different people, all the different characters, and it's fun.
So guys, we got disconnected a minute ago as well. So there's the server still has issues, and I see some questions about clan battles. The thing is that right now the server is experiencing issues. So I don't know. My honest answer is I don't know whether clan battles are going to be up today. The way the server's acting right now, there seem to be still issues. So I'm sorry. We would love to play, right? Not just talk here. But currently the servers are having some issues, and we'll see what we can do to help. But currently our data center seems to be having issues. So yeah, sorry guys. How long will the good Lutyens be viable for coal in Arsenal? Hard way to grind that lot of coal for you, but you need him. We have no plans of removing him anytime soon, so you should have plenty of time. Trendless, I saw your question. Which topics? So I studied to become a teacher for chemistry and English. Because, I mean, I love English, but I also wanted to get a job. And the first thing that I was told when I started studying is like, hey, guys, because, you know, you in the initial courses that you have in university, a lot of them are basically for all, you know, teachers or people who want to become teachers. They tell you, it's like, hey, if you're like if a subject combination, something like German and biology or German and English, because I studied in Germany, you can basically become straight away a taxi, like a cab driver, because the chances are so low to actually get a job. What about a co-worker to Dasha? Was that not an idea? What do you want to be the co-worker for Dasha, or to get one? When are we getting odd-tiered CVs back? February, not anytime soon. We basically, the guys who would be working on this are working on other things right now, so I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. Maybe more something for, let's say, probably even next year.
Yeah. By the way, I just got an update thanks to our wonderful Sehales.
Thank you, Sehales.
Yes, who is supporting us and checking what's happening with the servers. I got recommendation that the public test server is already stable and
okay,
up, so we can switch there.
Yeah. Can you guys up the map rate for Ocean? Out of a year, you think you have seen it 2 times. So, like,
Ocean is a very funny story.
Personally, I'm a big fan of Ocean because, first of all, it's a historical map, and second of all, no, it's just trolling a bit. But I like it because, yes, there are maps when it's good to have islands, right? Especially for ships that can abuse islands a bit. But on the other hand, it's also good to sometimes take that away from them. So I'm personally a fan, but we can check. But I don't think there are any plans right now to do this. How to become a super tester? It's straightforward, but currently not possible to become a super tester because we're not recruiting. We are doing super test recruitment in waves. So usually what we do is we let people know that we are planning to recruit. So people can apply in a forum thread, basically give us the basic information that we need. And then we do interviews and accept people into the super test program or not. The problem is usually that there are very, 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 very many people out there who would like to be super tester. And we only have a set amount of slots in the program. So usually that's the problem.
Are you aware that bots in co-op are affected by a bug which allows them to fire salvo of undodgeable surface skimming hypervelocity shells?
That sounds more like a server issue than a bot issue.
Sounds, yeah.
But please, in such cases, honestly, please go either to the forums and drop the evidence for this there, but also make sure to send a customer support ticket. Where you can basically include the evidence that you have, like a replay or a short video and so on, and then we can take a look at it. best way of doing this. Like honestly, like I keep telling this to you guys, and you usually don't listen because you don't send us tickets about this stuff. But if you want this stuff to be fixed faster, and like please help us with this, report it through a customer support ticket. Attach a Wargaming check always. Attach the evidence that you have for whatever bug you encountered, and then we can take a look at it. Sometimes it's, for example, a matter of your connection. If your connection is really bad and you know the data from the client is trying to catch up with stuff, you might see some weird stuff happening, like ships jumping and so on. It really depends on what's happening on your side. But if you want to give us a chance to fix it, and it's not like a widespread bug that we're aware of anyway, please report it.
And it seems, it seems that the public test is up and running.
See, Jotun, you've noticed a bug lately where shells go through an island because you're so close. Yeah, it's a bit of a rendering issue. We are aware of it, and I think we're looking into it right now. Any plans for a spectator system to watch friends playing? Not right now, because I know that you say it could be done with a small delay. But we're not planning this right now. We improved the spectator mode significantly for tournaments, where's the biggest application for this, at least right now. In terms of being able to participate, like to spectate a match, I think it would, even with a delay, there's a lot of room for abuse. People, trying to, troll people or give out information that is crucial to the team's efforts and so on. So it's a bit tricky, and I don't think that's coming anytime soon. Are there any plans to improve Deepwater torpedoes? You think they're currently not in the best state and will be in even worse state with the addition of the new torpedo protection module. So we're keeping a very close eye on this. For now, the plan is to actually introduce it as planned, the torpedo protection module. But if you see that obviously there's a huge impact to how Deepwater torpedo-based ships are performing, we will take a look at how we can improve this. So we are definitely aware of this, and we have this in our mind. You can be sure we already discussed this internally, so we'll see how to deal with this. Will Vampire be available again? Maybe at some point in the future, but I'm not sure whether she's going to be available anytime soon. Any plans to introduce plays of the game at the end of the game screen snapshot? Oh man, I would love to have that. I love this in other games. It would just be very tricky to implement because you would have to have the right angles and have some kind of system that is going to position this and then pick the right ones and from what player. So I would love this feature, to be honest. I think it's a really cool idea, but I think we currently have bigger fish to fry. So it's probably like a cool suggestion for the future, but not something that would be realized anytime soon. How to report when shells pass through the island? In general, not talking about this specifically, but if you encounter issues with the game and you think it's something with the game client being broken, if you go to our customer support portal and you basically click on contact us and support customer support ticket, what you can do is you can attach the replay of the game, make it easier for us. For example, give a timestamp of around this time in the battle this happened, and also include the Wargaming check. If it's something that is also connected to visuals, it's usually good to also supply like a DX DIAC a report. You can find all of that information on the portal, how to get these reports out of your game, and then you can send it to us. EU servers down again. We know, guys. Currently, our guys are investigating, and hopefully the situation will improve. Very sorry about this. I would love to play right now as well. How old is the oldest worker in World of Warships? Do you mean in terms of age or seniority, for how long they've been working? So it's tricky, because there is Wargaming and there's World of Warships, right? World of Warships as a product is not as old, let's say, as Wargaming in itself. When it comes to who's the guy who has been working for the longest time for this company, it's probably Victor Kisely.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
It's a safe bet to say it's our CEO, who has been the founder of the company.
Oh, we have a personal question, even though this is not Mr. Conway. This is Mr. Chrysantos.
Okay.
Guys, second, Mr. Chrysantos, now frankly, please tell us how you personally play the HMS Hawkins to have over 55% win rate.
So here's something I have to admit, but I can try to play a bit more. When I got the random bundles, And Mr. Tucky can confirm this because I was trolling him with it. I got in my third bundle, I got for the balloons, I got the Albemarle, and then I got the Devonshire, and I think I have the Hawkins by now from one of the other random bundles, but I haven't played it that much because I enjoy playing the tier 8 quite a lot, and I got new test ships, so and the Hindenburg got buffed. So the last 3 or 4 days, I have been playing pretty much exclusively Hindenburg and having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, and as for me, I play Hawkins rarely and carefully. I just can't seem to make her work really properly. I like the Surrey, the tier 7. That's a fun ship, but for Hawkins, I just don't know how.
The thing is, like, if you take, so my suggestion for you is when you approach a ship like the Hawkins or any other ship and you struggle a bit with her, take a look at what is this ship good for, and what makes this ship interesting. So, for example, if you have a heavy cruiser, that usually means you have guns that hurt, but you don't have the rate of fire. Take a look at the armor pattern. Is this a ship that can take damage? Usually a tier 5 cruiser will not be able to withstand a lot of battleship fire, especially broadsided, right? So take a look at all of these factors. My personal piece of advice when playing something like a heavy cruiser, the British cruisers usually have very good concealment. Use that to your advantage. Surprise people on their broadside. But especially in the beginning, a lot of people make the mistake of taking a cruiser, like on tier 5, and they go straight up into battles and try to brawl with everything, and then they get nuked immediately. And most, especially heavy cruisers, at least for me, they excel at when in the beginning you basically you are in between somewhere of your battleships and your DDs. You try to support where you can, but be on a range where you can still hit the targets well. But you have enough time to also dodge and reposition yourself, so you can fall back into concealment. That's a fact that is super important in cruisers. Use your concealments, reposition, and sometimes ambush people. When you have like a good AP, tier 5 is a bit of I wouldn't say a weird place, but most of the armor on tier 5, tier 4 isn't really heavy, thick armor. So even with light cruisers, you can get a lot of citadels on medium range on other cruisers. So always think about how to get the most out of the cruiser that you're playing. Do you agree that servers should be moved from Luxembourg as the server issues are repetitive? No, that's not really the issue here. That it's servers in Luxembourg. It's more of like most of the server issues we have come from completely different areas. Right now, for example, it's an issue with the data center, which is fine. Shit happens every once in a while. Sometimes certain functions of the server are overloaded, or there's some issue that is located in them and we have to fix it. It's not really like one problem that is recurring every few weeks. It's usually something breaks that needs to be fixed very quickly and affects apparently the gameplay. But overall, it's not like it's the same issue that is recurring. Like recurring issues we fix usually very quickly.
Oh, there is another question for you. Which Hindenburg buff got you back into the ship? But you never left.
Look, like so interesting question. Look, I never left the Hindenburg, but recently I picked it up way more to play it. I think the Hindenburg in general is like a really great tanky ship. It's a great all-rounder, and I love all-rounders because they give me a lot of options in the game. And while I also like to play in divisions, I enjoy playing solo a lot as well. And it gives me the options to and the Hindenburg is a great example of what I explained, for example, with the Hawkins. Is initially I stay a bit further back with the Hindenburg. I figure out where the enemy team is moving, and then I make my way closer to the enemy team to use my AP more properly. It has great HE by now. It has a really, really great AP. It has a lot of survivability. It has 5 heals if you go for it. Strong AA. It even has torpedoes for close range, so it gives you all of the options out there. And now that it even has an even better rate of fire, I'm using it, and I'm using my Günther Lütjens, so to even buff my rate of fire even more. Whatever happened to Aljona? Aljona, well, she's currently not doing videos for us. That's just the current state. Might change in the future again.
Will it be possible for clans to play with 3 to 5 players in the future? Currently not in the main clan battle setup, but we are experimenting with a lot of formats in the clan brawls, so you can just wait for next round of clan brawls and try the different crazy stuff.
Yeah, and I see a few German questions as well about the EU server. Sorry guys, alright, I'll switch to German quickly. Jungs, sorry, die Server haben immer noch Probleme, wir arbeiten daran. Und ich hoffe, es wird auch bald gefixt, aber aktuell sieht es danach aus, dass es noch ein bisschen braucht. So.
Genau.
Ganz genau. Oh, and we have Evan in chat. Hello, Evan. Nice haircut, Chris. Thank you very much, Evan. How's life? Are you sitting on boxes right now? What happened to Graf Zeppelin buff? So, guys, or Tia, I've been talking about this last week and this week. So currently there are no news. Our game designers are looking into Graf Zeppelin. Is there anything that needs to be done? But right now I don't have any news. So I'll come back in a few weeks once they get back to me and give me more information.
Sir Percival, good evening. How are we supposed to accomplish mission requiring Wukong, Baje or Silivangi, which is the Directive 2 active since few days? Mission is active, but the ships are not in game yet. Yes, because the ships are coming into game tomorrow. But we can show you the gameplay of these ships right now, because we just got them on the public test server for a little bit of display.
Okay, so we can actually show it in... You know what? We'll show it on your screen and I will just talk a bit. So...
I'll try to find some nice port for that, the Dragon.
Good evening. Did you just read the question? No. Right, with the...
Sir Percival?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you answered this. Cool. I just had like this moment of like, I want to answer this question. I'm not sure whether you already did it or not.
So here's the Baze, with the epic captain, who is from the Journey to the West fable. It's big armed with a rake. He's apparently there are like two characters of the tale who are accompanying the main hero and helping him with the tasks.
Yeah. Why didn't... Oh, so Alexa's asking, hey, why didn't I get any British cruisers so far? I opened all possible chances, 8 from directives and almost all that from daily containers and missions. So the daily containers that you get, there's no chance to get the ships from that. It's only from the containers it's not even containers, it's the random bundles in the armory. So far you seem to be unlucky. Obviously there's a higher chance in the ones you can get for the balloons. But overall, I understand that you would like to get early access, but even if you don't get them right now, they will be the tech tree will come out with the next update. So even if you get unlucky now, you will be able to get them in a few weeks.
Worst case, you are at least getting stuff that should help you with getting the ships once the tree is released, because there's a lot of economic flags and stuff in the random bundles. So, and here we have the tier 9. The battleship. As you can see, it's basically identical to Izumo, so no big surprises there. It's, I mean, it has a bit of specific gameplay for a Japanese battleship because of the position of the turrets, but it should be quite manageable.
Peachy Place is asking, can we please get more XP for battleships that actually tank for the team? So the thing is, there's already a reward for potential damage in the game for battleships. I know you would probably like to see basically a bigger bonus for that. I'm not aware of any changes to basically the economic impact of that. Maybe we'll do this in the future. I can double check internally. I think for now we're trying to keep a balance. I mean, damage will always play a big role in the game when it comes to earning XP. In my opinion, one of the factors you have to keep in mind when talking about this is a battleship that really supports its team will get rewarded, not only by getting also XP and credits for having but mostly because you do your part for winning the battle. So by having a higher chance of success for winning the battle by being an active part of the team that is supporting your DDs, your cruisers, and so on. You will have a higher win rate, and you will get more resources because of the win. So that's something you have to keep in mind.
And since there was a comment from one Taitoku with regards to the name of my test server clan, here you have the full name. So I hope that explains all the T's in there.
Oh, and there's a question, not a question, a comment for you. So Abulia Savant is saying, thank you again, Taki, for your help last month in transferring my stuck account.
Oh,
because
happy
Taki
to
here
help.
is a very helpful person. Any chance for French or Italian CVs in the game? Absolutely, there's a chance, but I wouldn't expect them anytime soon. We try to get as many ships into the game as we can, but like French CVs or Italian CVs will probably take a longer time. Minus is saying, at some point during Christmas event, Wargaming said that we will get event statistics like percentage of players that got Puerto Rico for free. Any idea when those stats will be released? I'm not really aware of that. We stated this anywhere. But I can double check internally. How many of those British bundles can we get with the tokens? They're pretty much unlimited. So you can you won't run.
I mean the tokens are limited.
Exactly. So like the bundles are not limited, but the amount of tokens that you can get. So at some point you will run out of tokens that you can get. And I think the doubloon ones are limited for, I think they're in total 65.
Yes. 60-ish.
Wouldn't they let Taki into Wargaming EU? No, we would let him into the Wargaming EU clan, but this is the test server. This is the public test server.
Actually, the question in the Wargaming EU clan is whether I would let them in, because like
he's our commander.
I'm the owner of that clan, but yeah, here this is a test server, so here I have a test clan for testing stuff.
What is what does it stand for? The TTTTT? Is this Taki's testing?
Yes,
Taki's tactical.
I just showed it. Terrific Taki's test think tank.
Ah, okay. TTTTTT.
Yes.
The actual proper Wargaming clan that we have on the public test server is Ente, though, and it's Ente des Todes, and only the cool people get to be in Ente des Todes. Any idea when we can see a radar cap in the matchmaking? Same applies to smoke ships, because the amount of radar at the moment is unbearable and can make... okay, so I get your question. So right now we're not planning to introduce any radar cap in matchmaking. Same thing applies to smoke ships. Usually all of these ships come with pros and cons, and all of these consumables are supposed to kind of even each other out, right? So on one side you might have more radar ships, on the other side more smoke ships, but the radar ships are basically countering the smoke ships to a certain degree because they can spot them when those ships are not supposed or don't want to be spotted. So it's always a matter of balance. I understand where you're coming from, that obviously if you play a DD and one team, for example, has more radars, you might feel like, oh, I have a harder time than, for example, a team that would be playing with more smokes or stuff like this. But overall, our game is supposed to be, able to cope with all of these different ships, the different consumables, and random allocation of team members, in terms of skill and so on. That's just random battles. Are you planning on looking into power creep concerning the old ship lines like the Montana? Absolutely. By the way, do you want to play a battle? You can play. I'll talk. Or do you want me to look?
Okay, get yourself in the public test
as
well.
So to answer this question, yes, we keep an eye on this, and we do constant monitoring and rebalancing for this. Obviously, we try to limit there will always be kind of a natural power creep in the game because the meta keeps changing, new stuff gets added, new consumables, players get better at playing certain ships. So there will always be some kind of dynamic within the meta and within the game for that. But we keep an eye on this, and as you, for example, talk about the Montana, even though I personally, like me as a player, I disagree that this ship needed a buff, but the Montana actually just got a buff. Where it's able to regain more health with its heal. Same thing is true for Hindenburg, a ship that has been in the game for a very long time by now, which got buffed in its rate of fire.
Oh, and we have some actually additional bonus of the public test is that we can show off the new upgrades.
Cool. Actually, why don't we quickly go through this?
Yes. Actually, we will have to go through it. No, we don't have to use your.
No, but we can show it here.
As you might have noticed in the dev blog posts, we are changing some old consumables and we are replacing some consumables, basically to make them more useful, because we found out what is used, what isn't used, and well, then it kind of makes sense why stuff isn't used. So here are the 3 replacements. And the first one, that probably the most discussed recently, is the torpedo protection system, which replaces the old assured detection upgrade, and it gives, currently in the test, fixed value for assured acquisition of torpedoes, regardless of their other parameters. The fixed value is currently 1.8 kilometers. And it also adds efficiency to the anti-torpedo defenses. The second change is we remove the auxiliary armaments modification and the AA armament modification, and we basically merge them into one, because like it didn't really offer much choice. And the third one is, in a similar vein, combination of the 2 survivability upgrades from the second slot, the maneuverability and the engine, because I mean, well, you can choose whether you will stop or whether you won't be able to steer, so now it improves both aspects at the same time.
Yeah. Question here from Niravan, fixed range 1.8. What about black torpedoes? It's going to be the same for all torpedoes, because it depends. So if you don't have this upgrade mounted, then it will still work the same way as it does right now. If you have this upgrade mounted, all torpedoes, Deepwater and regular torpedoes, no matter from what ship, will be detected 1.8 kilometers away from the ship. We are aware of the feedback that we got around this, and we'll keep a very close eye on this, and keep that in mind for releasing this specific part. But it's not only these upgrade replacements. We also have some changes to existing regular upgrades. So these are basically only the changes that are applied to the various upgrades. So for the second slot, we have the damage control system modification 1, which will now basically introduce a flat 2% bonus to the ship's torpedo protection. For the main battery modification 2, which you can mount in the third slot, we just remove the downside of the upgrade. It affected the rate of fire, and we felt like this is unnecessary, so we removed this aspect. Yeah. Sorry.
The game works better if you click the connect.
Then we also have for the. Oh, sorry. You talk. I log
Yes.
in.
Where do you end?
Wooster only 5th slot.
I'm blind.
It's you.
Ah, yeah. Okay, so, I have to admit that taking up speech is a.
It's easy.
Yes.
I'll do it for you.
Yes,
So
thank you. I'm
bonus,
slightly confused.
So basically, the bonus that this specific upgrade applies to the radar consumable has been doubled. So it was moved from 10% buff to 20% of the duration of the surveillance radar. Basically,
Yes.
increasing this aspect for the booster because 10% was not interesting enough.
Especially in comparison with the Des Moines, which I mean, after all, gets more armor and better guns. So now the Worcester is becoming a bit more competitive oriented.
What are we playing, by the way? I logged in finally.
Well, I think you can take the Wukong or Badze, and I'm taking the Silivangi.
Okay, let me take the Wukong.
The Wukong is Charles Martel, and basically again it's the same deal as with the other ship. Stats are the same, and she should be fairly, I would say, comfortable to play. I kind of like the French heavy cruisers, so.
Charles Martel is an interesting ship to play. And the cool thing is with the Wukong you get torpedo reload booster here.
Yes. Then we have some new upgrades after the...
Deepwater torpedoes.
Sorry?
12 kilometer Deepwater torpedoes.
Oh, yes.
Wait. Before you move on, there were 2 more upgrades that we didn't cover. So the defensive,
okay. So you did. Okay.
I did step by step. So we also have the defensive AA fire modification, which now also adds a bonus, reducing the reload time of the defensive AA fire consumable, which should make it more interesting. And then something that I personally really like is the AA gun modification. Number 1 that you mount in the 3rd slot. This one will now provide an additional explosions in AA salvos. Not anymore. So we're replacing the AA salvos with a flat reduction in the preparation time of the priority AA sector, which means that if you take this upgrade, it will take you 20% less time to be able to push that button again.
I think I will enjoy this upgrade on Kid and other AA destroyers.
I recently enjoyed it very much on the Holland.
The
enemy CVs didn't enjoy it that much.
Yes. So then we have some new upgrades. We have a modification of aerial torpedoes, which adds plus 5% to the speed. It's a straight up improvement, and it's modification that should make life of the CV players a bit more interesting. Then we have the torpedo tube modification for the 3rd slot, which does basically the same for the surface ships, but it also adds a traverse speed bonus, but it brings with itself a penalty for survivability of the torpedo tubes. So it's, I mean, depending on how often you get shot at, it might be interesting or it might not be that interesting. I think I will use this mostly on the Japanese destroyers. Then for the 5th slot there is a ship consumables modification, which adds 10% to the action time of any ship consumable. And last but not least, again for the carriers for the 5th slot, there's the squadron consumable modification, which adds 50% to the action time of squadron consumables, so a heal for the torpedo bombers and fighter consumable.
Yes, and then we also have a new map, the Northern Waters. You will hopefully see this in battle as well. You can see this new map on the
I mean,
TV.
if we want to get it in the normal battle, we will just go to the training room. That's easy to manage.
And then let's just jump into battle.
We are ready. Let's go.
And you can check out all of these upgrades on the PT.
What does torpedo tubes mod do that aiming systems doesn't? It adds speed, 5% of the speed.
Oh, it's that. Yes, I saw your question. Could you please confirm what's in the Lunar containers? The news article suggests there will be a ship or a permanent camouflage in everyone. No, it's not going to be in everyone. There's basically a chance for it to also contain it. Just as usual. Except for the epic, tier containers that contain a guaranteed ship. That's a lot of tier 10s, but we got the Northern Waters, so we get to check out the stuff. And so if you take a look at my Wukong, you can see that she has 12 kilometer Deepwater torpedoes. I do have a torpedo reload booster here. Otherwise, nothing crazy when it comes to the guns. 10.5 seconds of reload time with 17.6 kilometers. But we're losing out on the engine boost here on the ship. So that's okay. Basically, you're trading in the engine boost for the Deepwater torpedoes, and we do have the defensive AA fire. And I actually mounted the upgrade for AA for the priority sector.
And for Siliwangi, you can see that the consumables are also quite interesting combination. It's the, well, obviously repair party and smoke, and it's a hydro, which has a range of 3.75 kilometers for torpedoes and 5.5 for ships. So it's it's not fully offensive, it's not fully defensive, it's kind of middle of the way, and I think this ship will be a very interesting DD hunter.
So, there's somebody saying nice matchmaking. I basically have always the same with +2 matchmaking. No, I mean, obviously on the PT, it's very easy to get to tier 10. So most people will just, skip to tier 10 as soon as possible to try out new ships and try out other stuff. On the live server, there is basically a cap of 40% of your battles can be top tier battles after the calibration is done. Otherwise, that won't be the case. So you won't get up tiered more than 40%. So 60% of your battles are happening on the same tier or on lower tiers. Oh, actually, what is that? Crosshair.
What crosshair? Ah. Yeah, I just found that whoever played public test before me here on this computer has the permanent alternate display, which I kind of don't like because it overloads the thing.
That's me. I love it.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I blame you then.
Is it true that Swedish DDs are coming soon? So
Yes.
I wouldn't say Swedish DDs per se. I mean, they're mostly Swedish. Yeah, they are Swedish DDs, yes. But in the pan-European
There's also one Austro-Hungarian.
Yeah. So that means, yes, we're working on them, and they're going to be, that's basically the next line after the British heavy cruisers to be implemented. That Kagero is not having a lot of fun with the Z-52 and the minnow shooting him. And he's gone.
Yep.
Okay.
But I am detected, so the second destroyer or the third destroyer has to be somewhere close. I'm not detected anymore, so not that close at least. Well, okay, I'm going back into the B, and you be ready to blap anything that tries to blap me.
I'll try. But it's interesting to see the setup of the map here. You can see these very high islands, while the island in the middle of B is actually not that high.
It kind of reminds me of the first prototype you remember after the CC summit.
Oh yes, with the super high mountains.
CC design map, and the first iteration that the map devs were able to knock together basically overnight had a super high islands.
Yeah, if you take a look at basically these islands, they completely shut off this section here. You have to basically enter through here.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about it, because I'm worried that the same thing will be happening what happens on the north, that's like battleships will lemming train into the shut-off area and will be unable to help out anywhere.
They would never do this.
I think we should put there the traffic sign. Just saying.
So let's actually use that reload booster just to... So now you can see it will reload faster. Can I actually get a salvo off? Yep. And then maybe he's turning. So let's see. Can we get a few hits? Well, 4 pence. I'll take it. 6k damage. We should be able to lop over this island.
Oh, there was Albemarle, or however, I still don't know how you properly pronounce that ship.
It's okay. Just call it Albi.
Ah, yeah, good idea. Hello, Albi.
Now he slowed down due to the torpedoes that he ate. Friesland here gave me a nice little smoke.
Schmock?
Smoke, yeah. Oh, actually, now let's check out what we can do against the Hakurio. So now I'm going to use my come here. Priority sector, and you can see that the time is not that high for reloading it. Oh man, you are not having fun here, Venezia. So we actually managed to shoot down 3 planes in. Oh, there's the Albemarle. Aha, Clyde 007. Let's see what we can do about you in a second. First of all, I have to take care of this guy.
The Venezia?
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's trying to turn away completely. We'll wait for him to shoot a bit on the broadside.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on normal alert.
Oh, that was unfortunate. It was a little bit too slow, so we didn't hit his proper broadside. Be careful to your right. DD's over there. it's always interesting to play a new map. I haven't tried this map yet.
Yes,
at all.
this is my first time as well, because on the Super Test I was focusing on different stuff. So yeah, it's interesting.
I'm launching my spotting plane. Maybe we can catch the Venezia.
Venezia is smoking up,
He's smoking.
but it seems that the Venezia suffers the common mistake of the Italian cruiser players and stopped. So I'm trying to go there. Maybe I will die slowly and painfully, or rather quickly and painfully, but just on the off chance.
Well, let's check it out in your point of view.
Ah, there he is. So he's actually not stopped down, so that's a bit unfortunate.
So now you made the classic DD mistake of trying to brawl with the Venezia, because he's going to absolutely nuke you.
He probably will be.
Yeah, SAP on a DD hurts a lot. A lot. You're still alive, though.
Yep.
I don't know how.
But I'm on fire, so I won't definitely survive that. Ah, did I manage to get off the salvo? No. Okay, I'm ignominiously terminated, and I didn't do actually much in this game.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's like it's a new map. It's the public test server. People, always try out new stuff. So that's just what happens.
So well, avenge me.
Yeah, guys, typing !Twitch drops won't do anything. I'll be very happy to play the Twitch drops guide for you later on, so you guys can see how to get Twitch drops. So a few questions about how to get the Exeter. It's the epic drop, so that means basically all you watch, and over time you have a rare chance to get that ship, and that's it. It's very straightforward. Yo, CP, not like this. Not like this.
Not like what?
Come on, shoot down more planes. This is gonna be painful. This is gonna be very painful.
No.
No, I expected more, to be honest.
Oh, so now instead of ! Twitch drop, someone posted ! server drop.
That's creative.
Yep. But too soon.
Oh, not my rudder, man. Not my rudder. He's doing a good job here with his ship.
SAP on a DD hurts. Everything hurts DDs. SAP hurts more than HE, I would say. At least if it lands properly.
Yeah. SAP, like in a DD, taking an AP salvo will hurt, but you will be absolutely able to survive it. Taking an SAP salvo, that's going to hurt a lot, and a lot more than you would think.
What about the Exeter pros and cons? I didn't play Exeter for some time now because I was focusing on the more recent heavy cruisers. But the pro for me is, I mean, she can be fairly tanky, and she has a nice heal, which helps to survive. And she has fairly nice guns, so that would be pro. Con, obviously, if you show broadside and someone looks at you in a funny way, then your hit points are suddenly gone.
And he's making the right call here, shooting AP. Not good enough though. Oh, 14k, I'll take this.
Ustandil, we are playing on the test server so that we can show up the new ships and the new consumables at the same time.
I don't know how I survived this, but I survived this.
Your hit points have got up and gone.
That's okay. That's okay. Like, I'm still alive. I'm still alive and kicking. That's all that matters to me right now. I mean, I don't really... Well, it's in Izumo. And I have like 4k HP, and now I'm spotted. So that means one of the DDs is close by. I don't really want to brawl with the Kremlin. It's not how it goes.
CV will balance you, apparently, according to the chat.
Sooner or later, yes. But by now, I should be able to have my defensive AA back, and maybe at least, do a little bit. He's pre-dropping, which is clever, so he doesn't really take that much damage in his approach to me. I'm still going to pop this.
Would you say you can use the same commander on Irian and Wukong? That's an interesting question. I probably wouldn't, because I usually don't use the same commander for heavy and light cruisers, but that also depends on what you prefer. Whether you prefer IFHE, then probably different commanders. If you have something else on Irian,
I think the main difference is probably exactly what Taki said is IFHE. I mean, IFHE won't really hurt you that much with the Wukong, so it's not going to ruin your gameplay, but it's 4 points that you could have invested in something else. But I don't see any problem with using the same commander, absolutely. But if you want to min-max, like get the most out of your ship, you might want to invest these 4 points into something else.
Yes. By the way, since there were concerns about the torpedo protection system, one of the things is that that upgrade has a fairly strong competition, depends on what battleship you are playing, because especially for battleships where you really want to get your heals up and going, or your damage control parties, the consumables modification is also quite
the action
useful.
time. The action time can make a huge difference, because think about it. If you have 10% longer heals, or 10% longer, damage control party, that can make a difference, right? Between getting set on fire again or not, or being able to heal that bit of health more, and that for each consumable. And guys, please, okay, you know what I'm going to do? And this is on you, chat, right? This is on you. Because you wanted to type !Twitch drops. So I will play for you the Twitch drops guide. So we have the ghost, the spirit of Mr. Conway with us, who's the narrator of this beautiful video that we created for you. And that should answer all of your questions about how to participate in Twitch drops, how they work, how to get this shit. And then we'll be back with our beautiful faces.
Welcome to our Twitch Drops guide. In this video we'll show you what Twitch Drops are and how to get them. With Twitch Drops you can get free additional content for watching World of Warships on Twitch. These include Twitch containers, special missions, and if you're very lucky, even premium ships. To activate Twitch Drops, head to your account management page and click on the Twitch icon. Then either log into your existing Twitch account or register a new one. Afterwards, click the Authorize button to finalize linking your accounts. If your link was successful, you'll receive the Twitch Welcome Achievement in-game. Now let's start getting some drops. Open your browser and head to the twitch.tv homepage. If you are anything like us, you might want to activate Dark Mode. To find World of Warships content, click on the search bar and enter World of Warships. Select World of Warships to head to the game directory, where you can see all live World of Warships streams. Make sure to follow our game for easy access to streams in future. Pick your favorite streamer and start watching. You can check whether Twitch drops are active underneath the title of each live broadcast. You will receive your first Twitch drop after watching eligible streams for a certain amount of time.
Eventually,
when you get a drop, you will receive a notification on Twitch. You can click on it to access your inventory of all received Twitch drops. Please note, the notifications are going to stack up for all received drops during one update. You will also get a notification in-game. You can earn several Twitch containers in each update. They can contain credits.
Ta-da! So that's the guide. That should answer all of your questions. By the way, Lemming chat. I'll call you Lemming chat now because you just keep spamming this. You guys know that posting !Twitch drops is not achieving anything for you except for maybe potentially getting banned soon when I put it into the blocked word list. OG Pinklo is saying, what do you think about Colbert gameplay at the moment? Firing range feels very short when looking at the concealment. Well, it's a very high risk, high return kind of setup, right? You have crazy reload time, and it's basically you just raining shells, but that comes at a price of being very weak in terms of armor. Can't you just disable !Twitch drops? Yeah, but then they will just spam something else. So I'll just let the floodgates be open for now. unless you trigger me too much in like 2 or 3 minutes, then I will just close it.
Yeah.
Thorix is saying, I'm a Twitch Prime member. How come it won't let me do the Twitch Prime background? It is also linked to your account. Because unfortunately, this was linked to a specific activity in 2018 that we ran in March and April, where you were able to actually link your account with Twitch Prime and get the Twitch port. Right now, this is still locked with this activity, so we cannot hand it out at the moment. So, sorry.
There was a question in among all the Twitch drops whether we are not worried that the new module will, that the new upgrade will ruin the Deepwater torpedoes. We don't think it would, but we will be monitoring the numbers, and if needed, we will step in. But I mean, it will be balanced by, for one, it's a trade-off, so I suspect that a lot of battleships will probably start mounting the upgrade early on, but for one, it's not a, like, it's still a battleship, so if they don't start turning in time, then my Deepwaters will anyway get them. And they will probably soon also figure out that the 10% might be more useful.
Chat, you made me do this.
Oh. Well, so long.
Yeah. Oh, wow, EU server keeps crashing every time someone types Twitch drops. I hope not. I hope not. This would be the end of the server. Van Markel, how do you guys get pan-European commanders to speak their national language, knowing voiceover language is English and my language modification is set on national voiceover plus? Well, currently they don't have a national language in terms of like Swedish, for example. So that's currently not. It doesn't work. Even though I know what you want to do, but it's not working.
Yeah, right now not. Maybe sometime in the future, but yeah.
Yeah. Are the ARP ships ever going to be available again? And the answer is maybe.
Yes. Sadly, all things with collaborations, be it ARP, be it High School Fleet, be it Azure Lane, they are not depending only on us.
You know, maybe they are. Maybe what you should do, guys, is and now I'll basically, you know, I'm a meme, you know, on the internet. Convince me. Why should we bring back Arpeggio? And now you go and convince me. Feel free to create cool clips, nice artworks. Please keep it like safe for work.
I think what you should do.
Put it on the forums already.
What you should do, you should create a quite like detailed presentation in PowerPoint and send it to Mr. Chrysanthos, and we will force him to watch.
Maybe I'll just close my eyes and run away. How do I access the toilets on the Kremlin? It's very easy. You basically, when you get on board, you go to the first door to the right, then you go in. You have to take the first left, go downstairs, one deck, two, you go right, right again, right, then straight, the second door to the left. Then you have to go downstairs again. I'm sorry, it's a big ship, and then you go to the very end of the hall. Take the not the very last left, but the left before that, and then the right door. That's the toilets that we are using. Bring Azure Lane back because it makes money for Wargaming. That's a nice try. Maybe potentially in the future. It depends on the collaboration. Is there any new information about Siegfried? And the answer to that is no. Same thing is true for Mainz, Odin, Hayate, Yashima, what else is out there? Marceau, and the other ships that are currently in test.
Wow, see you for the first time. I heard the names in front of your faces. Have to say that you look sympathetic. Well, especially Mr. Chrysanthos.
Am I?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. Hi, and welcome to the chat.
Yeah. And basically that's also one of the reasons why we do the streams, because I mean it's fun to get out there and to meet people and to give you a chance to like see us, that we are not monsters, or at least we are good at camouflage.
Yes. How come I got 2 drops yesterday in 2 hours, but today you watched for 11 hours already, but World of Warships got you nothing? Because you know it depends on the system, obviously. Every Thursday a new mission goes live. So basically, when the official stream, the EU stream goes live, a new mission goes live. If you watch the full stream, you should have the mission. And that mission, every week we introduce a new mission. Basically, you can get that mission from Thursday EU stream start until the next week, end of day of Thursday. and the new mission is also introduced on Thursday. And the Twitch drops, the containers, you get a certain amount. There's a limit of up until 5 per month, and rare drop is based on watch time, increases your luck basically, but over time it's a rare chance, right? It's a rare thing, right? So keep that in mind. Do you comb your beard every morning and use beard oil? No, I do have a beard conditioner. I have to admit that, because it makes the beard even better. I don't comb it. I know it's not that long. Okay, so guys, let's play another battle, right?
Yes.
I can play the Bazé for you if you want to. Tier 9, basically Izumo. Izumo clone.
We can do double Bazier.
Okay, we can do that. Even though I hate full battleship divisions, but it's okay. We do it for science.
It's the server, and for science, yes.
So we're going to take the main battery modification 3. If you guys want to see me build my ship, feel free to join in. So I'll take the main battery armaments modification number 1. So here you can see, here would be the maneuverability aiding system, which is the new combined one. That's not really my concern, right? I rather take a little bit less chance of flooding and getting set on fire, so I'll take this one. Now here would be, for example, the new AA guns modification number 1. For the AA sector preparation time. You know what? Let's try it out. Usually I probably wouldn't pick it on an Izumo. It doesn't really have that much of AA. And I want to take the steering gears to be able to wiggle that butt. And then here, now here's the option: torpedo protection system number 1, concealment system modification number 1, and the ship consumable modification. And this is part of the reason why we want to introduce it the way it's currently planned, because you have to make a decision. Do you want to go for the survivability here with the consumables, or do you want to go for survivability for potentially dodging torpedoes? And we'll see how this works out. And if we see,
so what are you picking up?
Actually picking the ship consumable modification.
Okay, then in that case I will take the torpedo protection, and
okay.
We will see who survives. Well, probably you, but
you know me, I sometimes end up in stupid situations.
Well, yeah, but you are a more accomplished battleship player, I guess.
I do like my battleships, even though I am a cruiser main.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't count because your cruiser main is the Hindenburg.
What do you mean?
It's a battleship.
That is true. Definitely don't go for survivability expert, please. If you play a battleship, like, do me a favor, don't pick this one. This is not for you. This is not the skill you're looking for.
I wonder how many people now get the conspiracy thought, like he doesn't want us to use it because it's so good, so we should use it. Yeah.
You know what? And well, I'm going to pick Adrenaline Rush, and you know what? I'll take BFT. Pretty positive we're going to meet a CV, and we're going to take this beautiful skin here, right?
Oh yes, definitely.
I'm in the wrong pot compared to Taki. He went full Asian experience here with the beautiful dragon port. I'll just I'll try hard a bit.
I generally don't take the dragon port, but when I have a ship with this skin, I usually switch to it because it just fits. It's beautiful.
And I still have to get used to mounting always also the flooding recovery time the signal flags, because I'm still not used to doing that. So I'm ready. Are you finally ready too?
I'm ready.
Yeah? Okay.
Damn, that thing looks ugly. Well, I mean, beauty is in the eye of beholder, but I like it.
Did I? Sorry. I just want to make sure I didn't pull a Mr. Conway and did not mount. No, we're good.
Yes,
I did mount. Look, because Mr. Conway, if you're watching this, you know it's true. Also, mounting these consumables is somewhat important. When is the Hayate coming? When she's ready. I don't have any update for you. You are drunk. Go home. Prince Paradox, I'll see you next time. No. We'll finish the stream and then we'll go home.
Yes.
Can we get Femme on those streams more? She is much nicer to look at, I guess. It's what you want to say. So, Prince Paradox, you are right. I would agree. But she doesn't have a beard.
Yes.
as far as I know. So that's something you won't get with Fem. No, I'm sure she's going to stream a bit more in the future as well.
Yeah, I think now they are all at the Anchors Away tour.
Yes,
but-
they're all away
Yes.
with the anchors.
So
At the USS Hornet, as far as I
yep.
remember.
I mean, if you are in the US, check their schedule because they are going all around the states for all
Super
the
cool tour.
battleship
Super cool
museums or
If
warship
you
museums.
if you have a chance, go there. You will get
Yes.
a cool goodie bag. You will get to see history with your own eyes because they have so many cool naval ships, and a lot of them are actually part of the game as well. So, for example, not this weekend, but I think in February. I don't remember which exact date. Feel free to check it out.
Gneisenau is in the chat. Yay.
Wait, let me finish my sentence. So the ship after the USS Hornet is going to be the USS Kidd, and that's a ship in the game. So what better place to go and check out a DD, which is not as small as you think it is in real life.
Where is actually the kid? That's somewhere in
In
Texas.
I'm sure it is in North America.
Yes, probably. But I guess you people
Like
know that.
I don't want to take this away from Gneisenau to tell us in chat, right? Where it's going to be.
Actually, it's Prince Paradox is supplying the addresses. He put the addresses of for the Hornet event and now for the kid. Thank you for your contribution. And yeah, guys, if you have it close to that place, or if you live anywhere near a warship museum in North America, keep an eye on the Anchors Away tour because chances are they will be stopping at a place near you.
Noctasia is saying, why is there no British battle cruiser line in the game? There are enough designs without even needing to make things up. So the thing is that we don't really have battle cruisers as a class in game. We do have some ships that were considered to be battle cruisers. And the matchmaker was struggling a bit with getting us a match, so we only have a 5 versus 5, which is fine.
This is fine.
So it is something that might happen in the future, having something like battle cruisers. But the reason for that is right now we don't have a battle cruiser class. Introducing a new class is always tricky, and having at least like a second line to have British battle cruisers in itself might be something in the future. Glenn Sullivan is asking, could you ask devs to add a torpedo launch notification to chat, similar to radar and sonar that has been added? I think it would, most of all, it would spam chat without being really helpful, and people would pay less attention to chat. In general, you should not be the kind of person to launch torpedoes from the second row. Never, never, never. I know you sometimes want to, but you don't do it, right? You don't do it, chat. Don't risk allies with torpedoes. There is no such thing as a friendly torpedo, so please don't do it. And if you want to launch torpedoes that are probably not the healthiest for your team, and you want to make sure that everybody's aware of what you're doing, ask beforehand and let them know instead of hoping for people to catch it. In terms of that they will see that you are currently doing this. But in general, just don't do it.
Yes.
Just
don't. Just say no.
Yeah, just say no, exactly. Nice ship butt, absolutely. Even though this butt here is not as sexy as Montana's crocodile, not crocodile, but crocosaur butt. I don't think I'm not sure whether it's me or we actually improved something with that, but the visibility for the tail is definitely better in 9.0.
I actually didn't check it because I'm not using the crocosaur.
You don't like big butts, and you cannot lie. Your other commanders can't deny.
I don't know when I last played a tier 10 battleship, to be honest.
You know what? I'm going in here. There's one DD, the Chungmu, but the rest will push. We'll just push him. This is a battle to have some fun in the middle. No to drugs and second row torping. Exactly, Vanyu. Exactly. Hearthstone. Yes, the server should be online again.
Yep.
How the heck do you get the Twitch drops? Donactyl, by simply watching World of Warships content. Oh wow, they're all over there, so I'll actually have to adjust.
All probably not. The Chungmu is definitely in the... Oh, and there is JB. And Lion.
So that's the third turn. In general, my piece of advice when it comes to playing this ship is don't try to show too much broadside to get that turret off. Just use it as a gun for secondary targets where you can shoot at. Don't show too much broadside. It's very, very tempting to show too much broadside to get that third turret into the action, but it can result in heavy damage that you don't want to take.
Don't try this at home.
Well, try it in the training room.
Or
Maybe.
on a public test.
Or in a public test, but on the live server, I would say not too healthy for your ship's HP. Nice. 60k, I'll take it. And then, hello Iowa. You show me a full broadside, I'll take it. There's the Chungmu. Okay, he's turning away too much, so we won't really deal that much damage. Here are the evil Deepwater Torpedoes. The Jean Bart over here.
Yeah, the Jean Bart is for you probably behind the island, so.
I'll just have to angle against these guys. The Hipper is doing a clever job here with trying to use the island as cover. Right now, unfortunately, that line isn't spotted. There we go. Ooh, hello.
Hello there.
It's so great to see how much the Izumo has been, like, it gets so much better over the time with the buffs that we applied to her. Like, I still had to play this ship in its very original state, which was a bit, like, I didn't hate it as much as other people did playing it, because I think it prepares you still quite nicely for playing the Yamato. But it was sometimes a bit painful if you lost, for example, all of your turrets. That happened to me twice while grinding the ship.
All?
All of them, yes.
Wow. Well, I once lost both turrets on Jean Bar, so I can...
What happened? Did you take an arrow to the knee, or...?
Yeah.
Sorry, today I'm full of trolls. So that line is coming around the corner, so I'll just have to push a bit. I'll use that, because I don't want to get burned down by the Jean Bart with the reload booster. Didn't you want to join us here by pushing, or...? No.
What? Who?
You are the who? The what? Huh?
Well,
What are you talking about?
Yes, but I first had to extricate myself from being...
It's okay. I'll take the damage for you.
So I'm
Let's
pushing
put
now.
some wings on that ship. I would love to fly away. That's true.
Well, I mean, if we can have...
okay, so he's... Okay. Okay, I need to accelerate here to not take these torps. Oh, Cleveland. This is not the position you want to be in here right now. Can we... he's reversing. That's why.
Who, the lion?
Yep.
Yeah, he got into an intimate contact with the island.
Oh, he's coming into intimate contact with torpedoes? No? Okay. Dispersion. Oh, come on. Now, this is the thing, right? Now I'm being a bit greedy, but I see that his turrets are on the other side. So I'm trying to abuse the fact that he's not paying attention to me.
Destroyer is down, so now he will be probably aiming at me, so you are still safe. Or not? No, he's going after the Cleveland.
I think he's coming after me.
Or, yeah, maybe. Well, I got one of his turrets,
15K.
and you got one of him. Okay.
I got one of him, exactly. I got one of him. I'll take that. Yeah, it's a good ship. Can tank quite a bit here, and it's one of these bow-in ships. Hipper, we have to talk about this HE spam, right? I don't want you to do it. You don't want to do it. You know, let's stop, right?
I think he wants to do it.
And then I'll have to punish him. I gotta be a bit careful here. There's still the Chungmu around, so I'll try to reverse. Oh no! Oh god, that was close. Closer than I wanted it to be. To be honest. We'll have to just hold this here. You're joining us, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. We already got a high caliber. I'm going to use my plane here. I won't really be able to do much to him on this angle.
Oh, of course. Well, at least I lost number 3 turret, and not one of the useful
Jungwoo's
ones.
coming. Jungwoo's coming. This will be
Oh.
a bit problematic. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
This is fine.
This is fine, exactly. Hello, Jungwoo. Now you're smoking. Oh, 30 seconds for that heal. That's nice. Always gives us back 15k. But I'll have to push away. Waiting with my heal.
I push away.
Just in case they get a second fire. I don't want to be set on fire right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so far, oh, that hurt too much. He had a good angle on me. Slightly too much. I would need the Cleveland to help me with the radar on him. Well, that Cleveland is gone now.
Yep.
I'm not spotted anymore. I'm not sure whether he actually got to reload his torps. I'm a... Ooh, no, I'm dead. Boop. This is where the upgrade would have been helpful to spot these torpedoes earlier, but I knew they were coming anyway. It was more of a matter of I couldn't really turn away. So, Mr. Tucky, this is on you now. You have to save us. Come on, you can do it. I believe.
You believe?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
Oh man, guys, and why, Chet? Why do you make me?
What did they do
play
now?
circles
Oh,
now?
this
No,
thing.
I'm not going to say it because then people.
Yes,
just-
I see. Well, I'm that as well.
Stronghold, why is Wargaming not able to put spaces in large numbers? I can ask whether we can improve the UI with that.
How can you launch 2 different types of planes on CV and use them at the same time? You cannot.
can't.
Well, I mean, unless you count the fighter consumable as a second type.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, you
Yes.
sank as well?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Ages ago.
Ages ago. Wow, I
Yeah,
expected more
like
from
a
you.
whole 30 seconds or so.
And we're almost perfectly on time. And
Yep.
can you take a look at? Oh, this is okay. Servers are considered to be stable now. Okay.
Yes, we
So guys,
will-
it looks like the EU servers are back fully alive and kicking, without kicking you, hopefully, right?
Yes.
So I hope you guys will have a good time on the EU servers. Also, PT is live. Please go check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. There's a new map, Northern
Yes.
Waters, that we just played 2 battles on. And there are 2 modes on this map. We also got to show you 2 of them, which one of them is Epicenter and the other one is the regular domination mode. The new upgrades are live on the server as well. British Ark Part 2 is live as well, so you can go and check this out. You can also get the new commander. I think his name is Andrew Cunningham. So
Yes.
please go check him out as well. And what else? Oh yeah, so for tomorrow, because I saw the questions and because some people jumped in later on. Yes, so starting tomorrow, Lunar. Oh, sorry.
Whoops.
Sorry. Lunar New Year activities are going to go live with the new ships that we just showed you. So it's Bazé. We have the Wukong and also the Silly Wangi with a pretty silly name, but I love it. All of them will be available through either the Lunar New Year containers or just straight up through the premium shop, whatever option you prefer. And there will be cool missions for that, so please go and check this out. You see one of the missions here, basically a 6-part mission that will give you in total, if you do all of them, 8 of the Lunar New Year containers, which can contain a ship. It's not guaranteed, right? There's a chance for it. You can do all of these missions, tier 5 to tier 10, in co-op battles, in random battles, and in scenarios or operations, whatever you want to call it. Outside of that, some other missions are live. We have a 200% bonus for your daily win. We have 50% discount on upgrades. We have 50% discount on port slots. And another discount that I will have to look up now, and it is the 80% reduction of cost of demounting upgrades in the balloons. So guys, go and check this stuff out. And there's also a mission for a win. You will get the commemorative flag for Lunar New Year.
Yes,
and,
the year of
2020.
the rat.
Exactly, Year of the Rat, and you will get 3 Wargaming containers, which contain, each one of them contains at least 24 hours of premium time and some other goodies. So a lot of shit out there for you to get. Go play on this weekend, have some fun. Outside of that, I think that's us saying good night for today. We'll be back, same place, same time, next week. Also, as usual, we also have plenty of other streams. You can find that information in our Twitch Drops publication or on this very channel. Once we're offline, you will see the schedule. Unfortunately, Twitch disabled the schedule for the events feature, so we cannot use the events anymore to pre-plan where you can set up notifications. Hopefully, there will be something cooler from Twitch in the foreseeable future. And let me check. We're going to raid somebody. The question is who we're going to raid.
Who is up?
Yeah, who's what? By the way, Taki, you're allowed to talk when I'm not talking.
I am allowed to talk?
Yes, you're allowed to talk. Well, I'm looking for somebody to
Oh,
raid.
there are suggestions to raid Mr. Gibbons.
Oh, yes.
Power Verde, me, as in for the raid. I probably someone else, but maybe.
Great stream. Thanks to hear.
Yeah.
I'll just say it because I know all of you already followed this channel, right? But if you haven't pushed that follow button yet, or the subscribe button on YouTube, please go ahead and push that button to not miss out on any future content. If you have any questions about Twitch Drops and so on, you can just check our Twitch Drops guide, which is also part of the Twitch Drops publication, to learn more about this. And we'll be raiding Mr. Gibbons. And you know what? I think today, since tomorrow Lunar New Year is going to kick off, we can just do a little bit of Apocalypse, right? Apocalypse is always nice.
Get ready for Apocalypse. And Mr. McMullinex is reminding us not to shut down servers when we quit.
I'll try to not pull out the plug. Will you? Oh, so one question I'll answer because I saw the question before. Will you give some new stuff to the Wargaming store? So currently there will be no more new things for World of Warships in the Wargaming store. But if anything changes about this, we'll let you know. Okay. So Grumpy Beard, maybe next time. So today it's going to be Gibbons, and maybe next time we will go to Mr. Grumpy Beard and have a very, very nice evening, guys. Have a nice weekend, and I'll see you next week. Stay awesome. Sorry for the server issues, and enjoy your weekend.
See you. Have fun.